lesson 79 for a white group. We're going to talk about analogies. We've been talking about analogies. So we're going to make up two analogies. We're talking about, we're going to talk about a glass and a wagon. Listen again, we're going to talk about a glass and a wagon. Which two objects? A glass and a wagon. The first analogy tells what class the objects are in. Listen again. The first analogy tells what class the objects are in. What class is a glass in? What class is a glass in? Some people may say cups, things you can drink from, or containers. We're going to use containers. Listen, what class is a wagon in? Which class is a wagon in? Some people may have said a wagon is in a class of toys, things you can play with, things you can ride in. But we're going to use the class of vehicles. The class of vehicles. Listen, a glass is to containers as a wagon is to, listen again, a glass is to containers as a wagon is to vehicles. Say the whole analogy. Get ready. A glass is to containers as a wagon is to vehicles. Listen, a glass is to containers as a wagon is to vehicles. Does that analogy tell what class the objects are in? Yes. Listen, a glass is to containers as a wagon is to vehicles. Does that analogy tell what you do with the objects? No. So we made up an analogy that tells what class the objects are in. The next analogy is going to tell what the objects are made of. What two objects are we talking about? You ready? Yes, a glass and a wagon. So we're going to talk about what the objects are made of. Listen, what is a glass made of? You ready? Glass. Yes, a glass is made of glass. What could a wagon be made of? Turn your thinking brains on for this one. What is a wagon made of? Metal. Listen, a wagon is to metal as a glass is to glass. Listen again. A wagon is to metal as a glass is to. Say the whole analogy about a wagon and a glass. You ready? A wagon is to metal as a glass is to glass. So we made up an analogy that tells what the objects are made of. What class the objects are in. And then we said an analogy that tells what the objects are made of. So first, we made up an analogy that tells what class the objects are in. And then we made up an analogy that told what the objects are made of. Let's see if we can say both of them. Think big. Say the analogy that tells what the objects are made of. Turn your thinking brains on. Say the analogy that tells what the objects are made of. Get ready. A wagon is to metal as a glass is to glass. Listen. Say the analogy that tells what class the objects are in. One more time. Say the analogy that tells what class the objects are in. Get ready. Listen, a wagon is to vehicles as a glass is 2 containers. So we're going to look at the calendar one more time. We're going to look at the calendar. So today is Friday. Today is Friday. So today is Friday. What was the day of the week yesterday? Today is Friday. What was the day of the week yesterday? Thursday. Good job. So if today is Friday, what was the day of the week? What will the day of the week be tomorrow? Saturday. Good job. So if today is Friday, 1 week from today will be Friday. Good job. Listen. Today is Friday, March 27th. Friday, March 27th. So today is Friday, March 27th. What was yesterday's date? Yesterday was yesterday was Thursday, March 26th. So today is Friday, March 27th. What will tomorrow's date be? What will tomorrow's date be? Tomorrow will be, good job, Saturday, March 28th. Saturday, March 28th. I'm going to keep moving forward. Our friends are so good at those calendar dates. If they are struggling, just pull up a calendar and go over with them, or press pause till they figure it out. So we're going to describe an object, but I'm going to call it a funny name. I'm going to tell you things about the object, but I'm going to call it a funny name. And see if you can figure out what object I'm thinking of. Mirrors on. Listen. A SIPS is a tool. A SIPS is a tool. Say that. A SIPS is a tool. Listen. Mirrors on, don't forget. A SIPS has a handle and a blade. Listen. A SIPS has a handle and a blade. Say that. Get ready. Listen. You use SIPS to cut boards. You use a SIPS to cut boards. Say that. Get ready. We're going to say all 3 things about that we know about SIPS. We're going to say all 3 things that we know about SIPS. Get ready. A SIPS is a tool. A SIPS has a handle and a blade. You can use a SIPS to cut boards. Let's see if you can do it all by yourself. Get ready. Good job. Everybody, tell me what kind of tool I am calling a SIPS. A SIPS is a saw. Some friends may have said a knife, but how do we know that it's a saw? Right, because we can use it to cut boards. Would you like to use a SIPS to cut your hair? Me neither. I would like to use scissors. So we're going to talk about synonyms again. A synonym for under is below. Listen again. A synonym for under is below. Remember, synonyms are words that mean the same thing as another word. Listen, the dog was laying under the table. Say that. Here's the statement that has a synonym. Listen, the dog was lying below the table. Say that. Get ready. I'll say one of the statements. You tell me the statement with the synonym. I'll say one of the statements. You tell me the statement with the synonym. Listen, my turn. The dog was lying below the table. I'm going to say that one more time. The dog was lying below the table. Your turn. The dog was lying under the table. Remember, synonyms are a word that has the same meaning as another word. We're going to talk about materials now. Are some schools made of paper? No. What's absurd about a school that is made of paper? Okay, listen. Are schools made of concrete? You ready? Well, listen, think about this one. Why can concrete be used to make a school? Why can concrete be used to make a school? Yeah, concrete is strong, and the wind can't blow concrete down. So everybody, are some schools made of rubber? Well, what's absurd about a school that is made of rubber? Right, it wouldn't stand up. It probably would bend down. So think about a scissors and a knife. Think about the two things, scissors and a knife. And we're going to talk about how scissors and a knife can be the same and how they are different. So think of two ways that scissors and a knife are the same. Pause and get thinking time. Well, I think scissors and a knife are the same because they are both tools and you can cut things with them. So they are both the same because you can use scissors and a knife to cut things, and they are both tools. Well, let's think about how scissors and a knife are different. Think about how scissors and a knife are different. Think of two ways scissors and a knife are different. For me, I think scissors and a knife are different because you use a knife to cut food and you use scissors to cut paper. Also, I think they are different because scissors have two blades and a knife only has one. So Miss Thomas just told you her two ways they are different. Well, here's two more things to think about. A pencil and chalk. Let's see if you can name two ways they are the same. Think of two ways pencils and chalk are the same. Miss Thomas thinks they are the same because you can write with them. You can write with both of them, and you can find both of them at a school. Listen, think of two ways that a pencil and chalk are different. Think of ways they are different. Okay, so my two ways are a pencil has lead, but chalk does not have a lead or a point. Remember, we talked about a point from a pencil. So a pencil has a point, but chalk doesn't. And you can use chalk to write on the ground, but not with a pencil. We're going to classify objects. We're going to classify objects. We're going to talk about classes. When we classify objects, we put them into groups, right? We put them into groups. So the class of writing tools is made up of many kinds of writing tools. Listen again. The class of writing tools is made up of many kinds of writing tools. I'll name some. I'll name some kinds of writing tools in the class of writing tools. Listen. Crayons, pencils, pens, and chalk. You name some kinds of things in the class of writing tools. Give thinking and response time. Well, listen, if we took all the writing tools from the class of tools, listen, if we took all the writing tools from the class of tools, would there be any kinds of tools left? Yes, there would be. Name some kinds of tools that would be left. We probably would have a hammer left, a screwdriver, a calculator. Remember, those are all tools. Well, think about this. If we took all the crayons from the class of writing tools, would there be any writing tools left? If we took all the crayons from the class of writing tools, would there be any writing tools left? Yes, there would be. Name some kind of writing tools that would be left. There will be pens left, pencils left, chalk left. Yes, so we took all the crayons from the class of writing tools, there will still be writing tools left. So which class is bigger? The class of crayons or the class of writing tools? The class of writing tools. Tell me how you know. Yes, the class of writing tools has more kinds of things in it. Think big. Tell me which class is bigger. The class of writing tools or the class of tools? You ready? The class of tools. Think big. Which class is bigger? The class of crayons or the class of writing tools? The class of writing tools. Absurdity. When we think of things that are absurd, they are what? Crazy or very, very silly. So listen to this story and tell me what's absurd about it. Listen. A girl rode a chair to the dentist's office. What did the girl ride to the dentist's office? Then the dentist brushed her teeth with a carrot. What did the dentist do to the girl? Now tell me some things that are absurd about my story. Yes, because we don't ride chairs to the dentist's office and we don't brush our teeth with a carrot. Those are the things that are absurd about my story. So that concludes lesson 79 today for Friday for White Group.